Hey, what's up, guys? We are back again to break down the best Clan Wars decks in Clash Royale. Believe it or not, you got a Clan Wars video before the new year. Yes, 2025 is not here, and these Clan War videos, they never happen. So I get people asking all the time, what are the best decks? How do you use them? So let's break them down. Generally, the number one strategy in these Clan Wars is to build decks that utilize specific cards that you won't be using in other decks. If you do not have all these cards leveled up, I will be giving a lot of replacements. You can comment. I'll try to recommend different changes that you can do. And also on top of that, if you have high level cards, like for instance, like let's say, you got skeletons really high level and you have goblins here, or you have guards, or you have goblin gang. You want to swap out the goblins for your higher replacement. If you don't have bats leveled up, you could put in minions. So there are substitutions that you can make. And also, if you have a level 15 card and you have a level 11 card, always use the level 15 card over the level 11. It's just, 4 times better. So just don't do that to yourself. Use higher level cards. You don't have to build these specific decks. You can use these for inspiration and create your own Picasso piece. Anyway, let's get down to business. The first deck that we're going to be playing is a Mortar bait deck. I think bait decks are extraordinarily strong in Clan Wars because, as I said before, you have 4 different decks. Your spells are dispersed amongst all of them. So bait is going to be extremely strong. So if your opponent doesn't necessarily have the choice to put lightning in all of their decks, well, Electro Dragon, 3 out of 4 is going to be broken. So, you want to run cards like Goblin Barrel where, they can't put 3 spells in one deck because they're probably going to get slaughtered if they do, because the rest of their decks won't have answers to Goblin Barrel. So I'm running 2 bait decks, I think, and I'm also going to be playing some other more solid decks that work in every meta. The first thing that we're going to be showcasing right now is this Mortar deck. If you don't end up having Goblins dying, you could run a Dark Prince, preferably Skeleton King, Spear Goblins, a Log, a Snowball. Any spell here kind of works in place, so then you don't have just Fireball and something else. I would preferably play Skeleton King. And then if I didn't have that, I would play a small spell. And then if you didn't want to do that, then you could go and run a Skeleton Barrel or Spear Goblins. So that would be my order of operations. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Also with the Miner, it's something that you don't necessarily need in the deck. You could put in Skeleton Barrel as well. So, that makes the deck a little bit more free to play friendly, a little bit more accessible for a lot of you guys. Anyway, let's get down to business. The next deck is going to be a Royal Recruits deck. This is very baity, very spammy. By the way, in the last deck, you don't really need any evolutions, but if you only have one evolution, run a Mortar. Mortar is the more important one here. Bats are cool and all. They're pretty resilient when they're, higher level, but, it doesn't necessarily matter that much. The next thing that we have here is we are also going to end up having a Royal Recruits deck. This deck works wonderfully because if you get split Archers evolution and split Royal Recruits on both sides, then the opponent is going to struggle to defend because it's very difficult for them to break down anything with the Evolved Archers with the super high damage. The further they are away from targets, the more damage they do. So they're really good in interactions where the opponent is dropping things in the middle to counter your Royal Recruits, because the middle Royal Recruits is the maximum pull. When they pull things as far as possible, that means the Evolved Archers are at max distance, so then they do more damage. You have Wall Breakers and Goblin Barrel because, again, log bait decks. And this deck also ended up having, Rascals, Princess, and Goblin Gang, which are not necessarily used all that much, but it's nice to have that. The only card that's really played a ton in this deck is the Arrows. So it ate up a lot of the good cards, and this won the 20-win challenge. It's very strong right now. If you wanted to replace anything, you could go and replace this with like a Dark Goblin maybe. The Princess isn't necessarily necessary. Replace that with Dark Goblin. You're totally fine with that. You could replace the Rascals with a Prince. You could maybe replace, the Archers with an Evolved Ice Spirit if you really wanted. So then you have more of a defense, or an Evolved Cannon, or an Evolved Tesla. You could do that, so then you have more of a defense, and that's fine. Yeah, that works. So, if you want more anti-air, Evolved Tesla, it's decent. Evolved Cannon, pretty cool. So, yeah. Put in an Evolved card. Ice Spirit works as well. I think the next deck actually does have Evolved Ice Spirit. So we could put in a Fire Spirit or something instead and then use Evolved Cannon here. Or just, like literally this deck doesn't need evolution. I could win without evolutions with this deck. And it's just one of the strongest decks in the game. Literally just won the 20-win challenge a billion times. This has been one of the best decks in Clash Royale for years. I'm literally making this video for now and for many years to come because I don't think they're going to touch Clan Wars. And I think people want rewards. Clan Wars is one of the best ways of doing it. It's just really boring, so I don't really make videos on it. No one wants to see it. This is like the most requested thing that I haven't done. So hopefully you guys appreciate this. If you do like it, like the video, so then I can do more of this in the future. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is this deck will work for many years to come, and it'll be relevant, and that's why this video is coming out right now. So yeah, you don't need either of these evolutions, and you could replace the Archer Queen with a Musketeer. You could replace cannon with a bomb tower, an inferno tower. Royal delivery isn't necessarily necessary. You could put another spirit for a faster cycle. Guards. I'd probably put guards in, to be honest. If I needed to, I would put guards in. Royal delivery is actually kind of clutch in this deck. But yeah, you could make a lot of different changes in the deck throughout. You could put a knight or a Valkyrie instead of the Royal delivery. That's probably what I would do. So then I would have a mini tank if I wasn't having a Royal delivery. Probably a Valkyrie, honestly. But yeah, Royal delivery is best because then you have extra anti-air defense. Like when you pop an Archer Queen and it pops a Lava Hound, then you Royal delivery, clean it up. You can't really do that with a Valkyrie. So, you know, like this is a little bit better for Lava Hound matchups. All right, and then lastly is this Golem deck. This Golem deck is really good. Throughout many metas, it's been, you know, decent. It actually won the 20-win challenge a bunch of times. Main thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to stack up elixir collectors. When you get elixir collector advantage, then you go in for the Golem. Try to cycle to your Electro Dragon evolution. Only takes 1 cycle. It should get nerfed to 2 eventually. It's just stupid. It's really unfair. I don't think they're going to do that, but like I hope they listen to me. I'm just spamming them to always nerf it to 2 eventually. Even if it is, it's still broken. Basically, you drop it behind a Golem. You have the Lumberjack behind the Golem. The Lumberjack dies. It rages up the Golem Electro Dragon. The Electro Dragon, you know, chains onto stuff, kills people. They spam on their side. You've got Tornado or Barbarians. You've also got Barbell, so you have 3 defensive cards. Skeleton Dragons are more of a mix. Can kind of get your opponent to drop spells on that so that you can get value with the Elixir Collector or the Electro Dragon. Skeleton Dragons also do a lot of damage. They're really great when the opponent doesn't have spells. If they waste that on the Electro Dragon, you can go like Lumberjack, Skeleton Dragons behind a Golem. You can also go dual lane pressure with like Evolved Barbarians on the left side. Kind of nasty. And then you can use Tornado to pull things into your barbs. Your Electro Dragon, preferably Electro Dragon. Because when Electro Dragon chains onto things, it does infinite damage. Yeah, those are the decks. Let's get down to business. If you guys, of course, have any questions, let me know. And then also, you know, if you guys ever do buy things in this game, I use creator code SIRTAG. I wouldn't recommend buying anything in this game besides the pass Royale. That's the only thing ever worth it. And that's only if you spend money. So don't spend money on this game if you don't want to. All right, so the best thing to do is duels. If you do duels, you are going to get more value because, as you can see, per battle win, you get 250. And with this, it's 200. So you should always go into duels, and you should do that first. So then you have all of your decks to choose from. Let's go, let's go. Let's get it, let's get it. So our first deck of the day, we probably just want to mess around and play our Golem deck. Why not? Screw it. Kind of fun. I think that this is the least likely for us to win, but oh my gosh, dude, 1 minute and 53 seconds? What is this? Bro, Clan Wars is crazy. No one plays Clan Wars anymore. Okay. Oh, well, it didn't really give us the deck that we wanted. All right, cool. I don't know who this is, so I'm just going to pick my Golem deck. We'll see what's happening. Sometimes the game is... Yeah, I mean, well, it's boring if you don't get to play, bro. How are you? I'm doing great. I appreciate you being here, man. Love you. So we have Elixir Collector next. This is actually okay for us to cycle barbs. If we cycle them at the bridge, anything in the back could just get spelled and also just die to, like, range cards, so it's generally better to cycle them at the bridge if you really want to. Usually you want to wait for your opponent to make the first play. This looks like a Expo deck, 100%. After we see Knight and Archers, it could be Graveyard. It could also be Expo. I'm not super scared. I think that we can just go in for a Barbell and a Lumberjack if he goes Expo. The Expo's in the middle, then I'm a little bit tilted. Then I'll go Skeleton Dragons because the Lumberjack just won't reach. So he ended up dropping some Elixir there. That's not good for him at all. I guess I could go Barbell. I'm going to not leak Elixir, so I'm going to Barbell. And I'm going to wait and see what he does. I'm going to get ready with my Lumberjack in the back. If he cycles anything, then that's fine. I think he should. Doesn't want to. All right, that's fine. So this is one of those moments where we're definitely playing against a Graveyard deck now. Or it looks like Graveyard, or it looks like Goblin Giant Lightning or something. So, I mean, either way, I think this is really, really good for us. Because just looking at the positioning in this game, I know that I can use an Electro Dragon and chain onto his stuff. And then just go in for... I should have Electro Dragoned a little bit higher up, so then it was going to be able to chain onto things a little bit faster. But overall, not bad. We're going to take a little bit of damage from the Electro Wizard. That's like 1 hit. It's a Graveyard deck, actually. Okay, surprised. That, you know, it was like with the Electro Wizard, but it is what it is. I wonder if this... Nah, can't activate King. Is there a Tornado underleveled? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Anyway, it doesn't really matter that much. Obviously, we were optimally hoping not to have that happen. I should have, like, Elixir Collected here, but it is what it is. It's still fine. We know the Graveyard's out of cycle, so he can't punish me. I can just go Golem, and I have Evolved Electro Dragon, so this is, like, very beneficial for me. I don't have Tornado, so I have a really bad card cycle. I didn't play super well, but I still feel confident that I'm going to destroy this guy. If we get an Electro Dragon rolling, that's all that matters. I've been waiting for this kind of stream. Yeah, dude. I mean, this deck is pretty brainless, too. Like, I'm glad that, like, you know, I'm not playing perfectly, and I'll still play pretty well, and we'll still get a nice win here. At least I think it will be. We'll see if I end up flopping, but I doubt it. So we have the ability to go in for Skeleton Dragons because it's really, really hard for him to defend this if he doesn't have a Fireball or a Poison. Just has arrows from what it looks like, so
It's just going to be difficult for him to stop this effectively or cost efficiently. And the Electro Dragon does end up dying, but still fine. We can go for a Barbarian here and then Barbarians. Do we want to do that now? We want to actually go Barbs here and then Tornado. We can kill the Skellies. Looking a little bit more rough than I wanted to be. He's literally going to freeze like 2 skeletons. That's crazy. I hope that that doesn't take my tower. That kind of triggered me. Not gonna lie, I don't want to lose the first game of the day. We expect to win all of them, man. That'd be crazy. I'm gonna crash out. Not really, but not really what we want to see, honestly. Alright. I'm gonna lose this. Yeah, I lose this one. Dang. Alright, we're gonna get frozen in like 2 seconds. I should have played better at the start, and yeah, we just took the first loss, so GG. We'll jump to the next one. We'll play better. It happens. You know, you can't always win every single game you play, especially when you play like trash, so I played really horrendously. We saw that he ended up wasting a spell, but he didn't really run Barbril, so I think that it's going to be better for me to not run my Logbait decks. Instead, I think I'm just going to go and choose the Ice Spirit Skeletons, you know, fast Royal Hogs cycle deck. So, yeah, my beef for running the Golem deck there. My bad. And also, I could have won that if I played better. I think Graveyard Freeze is pretty easy if you just go Elixir Collector here, and then you get advantages from that standpoint. So, let's play really clean Clash Royale in this game, and, you know, we'll come back, you know. That's what's up. Go Royal Hogs here. We could Earthquake if he drops a building. We're waiting and hovering. Okay, so he's going to have Valkyrie. He's still going to have some source of splash damage, but this isn't going to go very well for him at all. I'm going to be able to easily defend the Valkyrie, and then I will get great counter push. So I'm going to go for our Archer Queen early. He can go in for a Ram Rider. We're actually going to go for a higher cannon. I don't want him to get lightning value, so we're just going to go and pop the Archer Queen ability. If we can go in that alive, that would have been nice. Didn't happen as planned, but it is what it is. The Ice Spirit does jump, but it doesn't jump fast enough. We're going to have to Royal Delivery. This is a really bad start in our game, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just match into some pretty crazy stuff that you're not really expecting. And if the Ice Spirit jumped in time, we would have been in a much better spot, but hey, it'd be what it be. All right, so I know his Valkyrie's back in cycle. I think the delivery gets 1 hit on the tower, which is nice. If I go for Royal Hogs, we know he's going to have Fireball. Okay, that's really good for me. I am actually going to go Archer Queen because it is a pretty overpowered card. It will be able to kill the Fire Spirits very, very, very easily, and I won't have to worry about that at all. So I am going to try to go for an Earthquake here so we can touch the Fire Spirit so then it doesn't jump. And then we're going to touch the other Fire Spirit, and then he's going to Valkyrie most likely on this, I would expect. And then it should just die to the Archer Queen, so I'm in a really good spot. Also, I misplaced the cannon. It should have been slightly over to the left. It won't matter much here, but actually, no, it was good. Because it pulled the Royal Ghost. I don't think it would have pulled the Royal Ghost otherwise. Wait, that was pretty freaking good. Why does Bro have Valkyrie and Royal Ghost in the same deck? And Fireball against Royal Hogs. Wow. So it just didn't seem like we got the best matchups here, to be honest, in the first game and the second game. But, you know, sometimes you just do run into really weird decks. You know, the thought process for Clan Wars, if you're actually building good decks, is you space out your stuff. So then you have... It is also 1:22 a.m. when I'm recording this, so I did miss the Earthquake. But you space out your counters to specific things and not put them all in the same deck, but this guy seemed to put them all in the same deck. It's still a pretty good matchup advantage for me because I would say that, you know, if you end up playing against like a spawner deck, it doesn't necessarily matter that much, and should be good to go here. Going to delivery. He's going to go in for a zap. Doesn't necessarily matter. We're able to Earthquake for more damage. And then, yeah, the Fire Spirit is going to die. We can go for a log on the Fire Spirit again. And then go in for Royal Hogs Ice Spirit on top of the Valkyrie that's going to come down. And then we're in a great spot with the Royal Hogs doing a ton of damage. He's going to try to Fireball on the Queen, but then we just go in for a delivery. We clean this all up really, really nicely. He'll probably Ram Rider into this as well, if I had to guess. If not, then it just all dies. Archer Queen is a pretty overpowered card, as you guys can see. Even into a Fireball, Valkyrie, Royal Ghost stack, this was extraordinary. So, yeah, we'll jump on to the next one. We'll win this next game, and sorry I lost the first one, but hey, we bounced back. Bounced back. It's too clean like that, you know? Not even clean, I missed. But we saw no Fireball. No Bowler. No Valkyrie. So I wonder what you have for Royal Recruits, my guy. He can't. He'll have Mega Knight most likely, but like, if you have Mega Knight, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm fine with this. Unless you have Mega Knight, Log, Barbarian in the same deck. That would be really funny. Knowing this guy, he might do it. He might vibe that way. Might be that brother from another mother. Alright, so we're just going to do this. We're going to go Goblin Barrel left side. Very, very good start. We don't get damage, but I like the fact that we're seeing a snowball. Not super scary to me. And I can Princess, and we can go Goblin Gang on this. I bet you he doesn't pre-spell. It'd be kind of weird. Even if he does, we do have Rascals, and we also end up going to the other side. It's a really, really good start for us. We can cycle our Royal Recruits in the back because we know he doesn't have Bowler. Worst thing that he could have for us is Goblinstein, which isn't even that bad. We're just going to go for Royal Recruits again in the back. And yeah, we're in a good spot all around. Like, I can't complain about this even one iota. If I'm in Royal Recruits in my brain dead, nah. I mean, Royal Recruits are a pretty easy deck to play. They're definitely one of the easiest decks in Clash Royale, but, you know, every deck requires some semblance of skill at the highest level. Like, if you're playing against a drill deck and you're running Royal Recruits, you're not going to win unless you play well. Alright, so yeah, he's got Dark Prince, so I guess he did have one more source of splash damage, but it's not like it matters that much. We can go our Wall Breakers here and force Elixir on both sides, keep his Elixir low. Maybe we bait out a small spell. If he small spells, then we go in for Rascals and Goblin Barrel. We're just going to immediately do that. He ended up dropping 4 Elixir on 2, so he's down a lot of Elixir, and he also doesn't have the Snowball and Cycle. So that's one of my favorite plays to do in Clash Royale is if you go for Wall Breakers, split. A lot of times the opponent will drop a small spell if they're not very good. And then if they do that, then guess what? They lose the game because you can go Goblin Barrel with the Rascals. And if they only have one spell, because a lot of times people only have one spell in this type of situation, they just instantly take the L. All right, we're going to go for our archers in the middle so that they can get maximum range here. So we can hopefully just incinerate this cannon cart and then destroy this dude. Yeah, you know, even though we did lose one game, the rest of the games were very clear cut. This was not close. The first game shouldn't have been close either, but trying to go for the 3 crown or some fancy stuff. Of course, if you don't like the Golem deck, maybe you could swap it out for something else if you wanted to. Like, you could build a deck. Like, these are all suggestions. I would definitely suggest running the Royal Hogs deck, for instance. Like, I do think that that's really good, and I think that this Rascals Recruits deck is kind of unique and really good as well. And, of course, you could put Dark Goblin in if, you know, yeah. Princess ever gets an evolution, put her in as an evolution if you want, over the archers. Like, the archers are substitutable. Like, you can take them out if you want. All right, so that was a 2-1 win. I was hoping that we'd get all of our wins today with no losses, but taking 1 loss there kind of sucks, but it'd be what it be. We did end up getting 3 games, so we're on to the last game of the day. Can we end with a very easy victory? I think so. We are saving one of our best decks for last. We have Goblinstein. Also, again, if you guys enjoy this, make sure to drop a like on the video. It goes a long way. It allows me to do these types of streams and videos that you guys typically do not see. So, you know, got some extra content out here. You know? We're vibing like that. I always lose the first game of the day every time. Even on this channel, man. What's wrong with me? All right, so, oh, I messed up. Spear Goblins should be placed 4 tiles away, and then they can't log. If they try to log the Spear Goblins, the Spear Goblins kill. Oh, we're playing against Log Gate, and we don't have log. So if you guys are noticing how I'm going to win this, generally, like, number 1, you want to be running Princess Tower. That is important. We don't have a small spell. You're going to be dropping Spear Goblins off to the side, or you're going to be going in for a Goblins, and that is just going to be your best bet. Later stage of the game, you could go in for Fireballs, but for right now. Spear Goblins, 1 more tile lower, 1 more tile lower. You want them to log this. It's really funny when they do, because the log does not kill the Spear Goblins fast enough, and they waste Elixir. And if they don't have log and cycle, you can always conditionally kill the Goblin Barrel. So we're going to show that real quick. We're going to go Goblins on the Goblin Barrel. When he drops it on the right, he'll drop it on the right because he sees Goblinstein left. Or maybe he'll wait and then he'll drop it on the left. Get a Fireball and then drop it left. Okay, fine. He doesn't have log, so I can do this. I can Miner, and we can save the Goblin still. I don't know if he's able to defend this. I think it might just already be over. One of the bigger benefits of this deck is running Cannon Card is just like an exponentially overpowered card. Again, if Cannon Card ever gets a nerf, which it should, I would recommend, you know, either keeping it in the deck or running Skeleton King. There's always substitutions you can make with this deck. You can put in a Dark Goblin as well if you wanted to over another card, like maybe like, you know, one of the Goblins, like the Spear Goblins or Goblins, and then put in a Goblin Gang if you wanted, depending on the decks. You know? All right, so since we don't have a good answer to the Goblin Barrel besides Goblins, we're just always hovering it. We're going to drop it off the side here. We should have dropped it in the far back. That's where it's a full counter. If you drop it a little bit late, that's the position that you want to do, the one that I just did. Remember, he Fireballs on top of Goblinstein, which is fine. It's like not that bad of a deal. But the biggest benefit right now is the fact that he doesn't have Tesla in cycle. He just dropped it. So now I'm able to go in for bats, have our Goblinstein walk up closer to his tower because he doesn't have a building, and then possibly pop ability to shred the Valkyrie a little bit faster, so then our bats stay alive and we win the game. So yeah, just trying to like be very dominant out here because we did lose 1 game. I don't want to give any slip-ups at all. I just want to destroy these people. Make sure that they have no hope. So, yeah, again, first game of the day, we always lose forever. I just, I don't know. Maybe one day I won't lose first game of the day. All right. Very clean victories all around, light work. So we did our clan justice, and with 28 seconds remaining, we will 3-crown this guy. Funny, I tried to 3-crown with the Golem deck. I got a 3-crown with the Cycle decks. I don't know. It'd be that way sometimes. It be that way. So very cool stuff. And this is one of the best ways of leveling up your account. You get gold, you get a whole bunch of benefits, and you know, hopefully our clan is going to pop off. Dude, we're so close to winning day 1, but unfortunate. Unfortunately, I took the L. Yo, dude, if I won that game, we'd actually be in first place because I would get 200 more. Dang, that's rough. I failed my clan. F's in the comment sections for me because I lost that one. But hey, it is what it is. If you guys enjoyed this, definitely leave a like on the video. It goes a long way. It allows me to do this type of content on the daily basis on both my channels. Yeah, I can't wait to create more content here, whether it's Brawl Stars or Clash Royale. I'm excited to create more videos here. So definitely, you know, leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more content. And yeah, I love you guys no matter when or where you are watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And good luck in Clan Wars. Let me know what decks you guys like and what decks you are using. Personally, I super enjoy all the decks that I played there. Lastly, I could have won that first game if I just played a little bit more cost effectively and didn't expect him to like Graveyard Freeze. Should have expected Graveyard Freeze. It's just an old school deck that he was playing that I just didn't grasp. So, might be. It happens. Also, maybe play like your first deck, a very confident deck. Maybe don't go for like a Golem or like something that's more beatdown. You assess your opponent's skill, then you go in for the beatdown thing. Like maybe like the Royal Hogs deck is probably best to go in with, or like the Recruits deck. Like those are generally pretty safe bets because they're really aggressive and also pretty safe with Recruits, Archers, Rascals, where the Golem deck is also safe. But like if you don't know your opponent's play style, sometimes you might just get caught off guard by like crazy mid-ladder strategies. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And other key things to say is if your opponent uses Earthquake, then the Golem deck is like an S tier deck to play. Actually, not a bad matchup, the first one, because he had Freeze, so he couldn't have killed Elixir Collectors. I could have played better just defensively. Cycle Elixir Collectors, and then when I'm up enough, then I go for the Golem and win. Didn't do that. I was a little bit dumb. You can just cycle Skeleton Dragons or Bar Barrels and then eventually win. That's very free. If your opponent doesn't have a Log or a Bar Barrel, play the Log Bait deck with Goblin Barrel Recruits. Or if they don't have, you know, Bowler and Valkyrie, definitely play the Log Bait deck with Recruits. And then lastly, this Mortar Bait deck is just an all-around solid deck that pretty much beats everything in the game, especially if your opponent doesn't have Goblin Barrel. If they don't have Goblin Barrel, it's easy, but I'm glad we got to play against Goblin Barrel because, you know, that's one of the harder ones to play into, I guess, maybe. Yeah, so no matter when or where you guys are watching, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Like the video, and check out the pinned comment if you guys want to see the top 5 best decks in Clash Royale. I most recently made a video on that, and those are the best decks in the game right now. They're literally the best decks in the game, played by the top 5 players, so you guys can see objectively from a stats perspective what decks best players in the world are using. I'll see you guys later. Have an amazing one.